It wasn't all the way down.
The bed wasn't on the truck?
No, the threaded thing that holds the fuel pump down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it was just setting.
Oh, you talking about on the, yeah. Phil's putting in a fuel pump in that Dodge he got from me, so we got this good old top scope. Wonder where it's made at.
I don't know.
But
if it was new, it sure wasn't dark brown.
Oh, no, yeah, you know that thing always had a little bit of a gas smell, so I figured somebody had been in there.
Well, there's a hose, okay? A plastic hose.
Yeah.
See, the tank goes up, and then it goes up, like that.
Yeah.
Okay, up here on the high spot, there was like a hard plastic hose, okay?
Yeah.
And they went down, goes down, and it went to this here.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was off. It was the hard
vent hose.
Vent hose was off from the fuel pump itself.
Yeah, none of that shocks me.
So
none of that shocks me. People jam it back together.
Well, they had a clamp on it.
No, I don't think you can clamp that kind of hose. I think it has to. The way it's made is it's got like supposed to be on there. It's got like a. You talk about it's a hard plastic stuff.
Yeah.
It's not right. Yeah, that it's got like where it goes on. The thing it goes on to, it's probably got those little barbs or whatever, ridges. I think goes around, and that thing is supposed to it's supposed to be like kind of heated up, like it's real soft. Heat it with a heat gun, I think, and then when it's still soft, it's pliable. Then you can jam it on there, and then it cools off and it contracts to that. So there ain't no clamping it. You clamp rubber.
Yeah. Oh,
again.
A little teeny like radiator clamp.
Yeah, it didn't come. It didn't come with that on it. They didn't put. That's again, bud. That's redneck people that don't understand what they're doing.
So that's what was on it when.
That's why it popped off.
Bed off.
Okay, well that's why it popped off.
And that's why you smell gas.
Yeah, that's why I smelled gas. Yeah, so I didn't fix it right. Speaking of, Phil had to sit through a lecture last night on the way to Golden Corral because I think the front might be open there. Because what was the lecture about this time, Phil?
My radio.
Yeah, okay, well, the thing, when Phil got this car, and I'm going to try not to run him through, don't forget for me to give you a bird feeder too. I gave you the seed for it. So, when Phil picked this car up, the radio was a factory one, and it just almost completely didn't work because it was just didn't work. The controls didn't do anything anymore. So, anyway, past having it move and drive, the most important thing, and the clean engine and no dust on this stuff, the most important thing for Phil is to have a working radio. So anyway, so they whoever they are, I know all about they and them, but whoever they are, Phil has some unknown associates that are supposedly experts in their fields, and so he selected, instead of bringing it back to me to have it fix it and wire it up, I'm not going to put that on camera. Blech. So anyway, make it shorter here. But anyway, I said, well, Phil, I said, we'll get you a radio together. So Phil agreed. I said, yes, and that's the last I ever heard of it, like always. So he says to me, when he was coming up for the weekend, Phil says, well, this radio's not working. We've tried 3 different ones, and we put another antenna on it. We took off the factory antenna, which probably had nothing wrong with it, and put another one on it because it's always they and all of them and everybody. It's the group, the advisors, Redneck Sand Mountain Automotive Advisors all got together and decided for Phil that they needed an antenna, so they didn't fix it. So they started swapping these new radios, and they're nice radios. I don't know what kind that one is been there, but anyway, it's got a nice, it's a Sony. Yeah, so it's a real nice radio and shouldn't have no problems with it. So you said, first thing you were telling me, you said, well, don't pick up any, all I get static. So I didn't know one way or the other if it did or didn't. I took Phil's word for it. That was Phil's explanation. So we drove to dinner last night, and Phil let me drive back this car because he wanted me to just kind of evaluate how it was running and all that. So it's doing okay. Choke's not. Choke's not working, but we're gonna fix that hopefully. So anyway, so I start the engine up, and then I restart the engine up again, and the radio comes on and plays. See, there's the antenna right there.
Yeah.
What do you think was wrong with that antenna, Phil?
I didn't see nothing wrong with it. But, and I'm not I know nothing about wiring. I am totally lost on wiring.
The only thing goes wrong with them is that wire there goes bad. And hold that, would you hold that up so I can see that rusty spot right here? That ain't nothing but the shielding on it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. So anyway, they did that and didn't need to, so whatever. But here, so the radio comes on, and Phil can't believe it. He says that radio didn't work. The radio didn't work at all. Well, it did not take me. Back in the past days of my life, when I was a younger man, I did a lot of radio installation in my own vehicle, and it did not take me long to realize that it was only working on one speaker, which is the left rear back here. And so then it started fading out. Like the further we went up the road, like when we got up to town up there, it started just fading out. And what they and them and everybody thought that was for was because the antenna was bad. It's not. So there's another radio that tried that, and it did the exact same thing, didn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
We got.
Oh, we got a third radio. That's. Let me guess. What did that one do, Phil? Did it do the same thing?
No, we didn't put this one in.
But I bet if you had to put it in, it would have done the same thing.
Well, this is the one I'd like to have put in because it's easier.
Okay.
If you look at this one, it's a Pioneer. It's easier to work.
Okay.
Than this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of all these here little buttons that's close together.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do.
So.
This one here.
Yeah. Well, it takes time sometimes to figure that out.
I know.
Anyway, so we got up there, and so I realized real quick what it was the radio was miswired, and so I prodded Phil to finally come out with the explanation. I said, Phil, I like that stand in there. I said, Phil, when Phil's initial, I remember you telling me, you said, where did that come from? That's the gas cap off it. Why is it off?
Because there's a locking one on there because there's people out there that love stealing gas.
Yeah, that's hard to believe where you live, man. That's unbelievable.
I don't want to get to.
You've been saying that for 5 years.
You gotta have the money to move. And
Well.
you gotta find a place.
Yeah.
Because every place that's up there, a house does not
You don't.
sit
But the thing is,
overnight empty.
you have to realize
Does not.
you need to you don't need to move like 5 miles down the road. You need to move like 50 miles away from that place.
No, I need to move out of that state.
Well, that's fine. I did. I don't regret it today.
Because if a house sits,
They ripped the stuff out of it.
there was a trailer there,
Yeah.
and that damn trailer didn't set a week.
Yep.
And they took the metal off the roof.
Yep.
The door was open.
Yep.
Some people across the street told me, yeah, you could go over there, and look. Shit. There wasn't no wiring in it.
That's what happens when you're up. That's how things go. Yeah, that's how things go up in methamphetamine estates up there.
They stripped the wiring. I mean, they didn't take the wood off the wall. They'll take the cover off. Where you plug in.
Yeah.
They take that off, take that box, then they grab that wire and they just pull.
Sure.
That's all they do. And
It looks like that Ernest P. Worrell movie where he's trying to fix the wiring in the house, and he does something with a light switch, and like he pulls on the light switch and the damn chandelier goes up. So he's like pulling it, and it goes up and down. So he just like starts pulling the wire, and it goes like all the way up through the plaster and around and like over to the damn chandelier. Because you know why? Because they have superhuman strength. They're jacked up on whatever they've taken up there. If you guys think that I have no love for anybody in those places like that, you're exactly right. I have none.
And I don't neither.
Well, whatever. We don't go on that, but all it takes is getting and packing your crap up in the car and just driving away, bud. That's what I did. But of course, now I didn't live up there. I'll say that. I wouldn't. I would select either. I would even live in that Dart over there before I'd live in that place. I'm sorry to say that. I know you live there, but it's awful. So it's awful. But anyway, back to the radio. We got way off that. So anyway, so I prodded Uncle Phil. I said, Phil, when your radio installation expert put this radio in, I said, did he use a plug to plug in to the car? And Phil wasn't sure. And then I got my answer without getting the answer. Phil said, well, he tried to put it in, but he said he wasn't sure about the wiring. And I thought, oh, yeah, he did it. That son of a bitch chopped the damn plug off the car. I said, that's exactly why it's fucked up. So sorry for my language, but I spent the next 15 minutes or so griping and complaining and lecturing Phil. And I've tried to get Phil to bring stuff to me to fix it. He just won't do it. He gets impatient. He sits there and he starts calling people on the phone, or somebody comes to his house and they say, well, I know somebody can do this. And so Phil says, okay, yeah, here it is, do it. And then when it's all screwed up, Phil kind of acts like he doesn't know what happened. Well, I don't know. They put it in. I don't know. He said he knew what he was doing. So I said to Phil about 4 or 5 times, I said, I wasn't trying to be angry about it, but I said, Phil, the guy don't know what he's doing. He sucks at it. He's awful. He doesn't need to touch another car or another radio ever. And I said, Phil, the book is in the back here for the wiring diagram. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll fix the wiring for you. I'll pull the radio out, fix it. If you'll pull the radio out, I'll fix it. So Phil confessed this morning that the book's no longer in the car. The service man's not in there. It's at home.
I took it out.
He took it out. So we can't fix the radio because this thing has got color codes. This thing has got color codes back there that do not match. They're not standardized. I mean, car manufacturers may use like yellow and red or blue and white for the negative and the positive, and all these different colors for the speaker wires and all that, where, the radio side of it, if you put an aftermarket radio in, it's got green, gray, what is it? We got 4 different colors. Anyway, you'll know them. One's got solid, one's got a black runner on it. That's the ground. So anyway, irregardless, white, all that. Purple, that's right. There's purple, green, white, and gray. So that's your speaker leads, and I told him you got 2 for each speaker. This is a common one. It's got a negative and positive wire to each speaker. So you got 8 wires go to speaker. You got keep alive memory. You got illumination. This car doesn't use that. You got it does, but not on the aftermarket. You got power, switch power. You got, like I said, you got stay on power. It keeps your clock on and everything. So I already know all that. I could have done it, but oh well. Let's move on to other stuff.
Yeah.
That's why Phil doesn't come up more often, because he knows if I find out something like this, I give him heck about it. But that's why your buddy. That's why your buddy, though. But I got to tell you, that's why your buddy on the internet, not your real buddy, but your pal on the internet that I had to kick off my channel. That's why he's on you so bad. He calls you out. He says, I can tell you what's gonna happen. There's gonna be something broke on it. It's gonna be wrecked. So you're giving him food here, Phil.
Yeah. I ain't giving that son of a bitch nothing.
Well, anyway, we can go on to that. But
I'd like to meet him face to face. What I'd like to do. He don't know jack shit about me.
Yeah, he just knows what he sees, though, Phil. Well, anyway.
See me face to face.
Yeah, maybe we'll meet one day.
I hope we do. do before I die.
Well, whatever. So anyway, but it's doing pretty good. Anyway, Phil's getting a lot of use out of it. He's driving it everywhere. Yep, he likes it. So he gets his radio straightened out. Maybe it'll be what he wants to have a radio done, and that'll be just all you need to do with it, I guess. Like I said, we're gonna mess with. He says the choke's not working on it, so we'll deal with that. But in the meantime, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna bleed some brakes and tune the car a little bit, and all that. But new valve cover, I had to go in and replace the valve cover gaskets on this, so I had to go in and tear all this stuff back off. Yeah. That's just garbage. Don't worry about that. You can just pitch it. But so I had to tear all the stuff off to get this valve cover. That one's easy to get off, but I had to take all those lines off again. So what had happened is, long story short, these things were, the screw holes had pushed them down, and they were warped, so they weren't sealing. And I had tried to put them on dry, and it didn't work because they're just passing oil through it. So I think I've got it all taken care of now. So we're gonna just check the timing, check the dwell, make sure fluids are not leaking anything anymore. And I think the only question I got on this anymore about whether something's leaking is over here at this power steering. It looked like it has been, I know it for a fact it's been leaking through the line, so I may have to address that. But the brakes, we're going to bleed them one last time and go with that. Sounds good to you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.